Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Hike Plays video. Today we are going to be covering the news. So we have a bunch of news on the notifications tab. Let's go in and have a look. Boys, I know we're recording via my phone again rather than the PC. I'm stuck at work, but I wanted to get this video out before I get home. But I will do some more videos once we do get home, and there is a stream tonight. So boys, go check that out. That's going to be really fun. So let's scroll right the way down and get to the first bit of news. So Jingo Raichi's birthday is here, which means we get this customary, is it 50 gems? I think. Oh wait, no, so they get 300 gems originally, but then there is some quests to get 200 more gems, so it's at 50 per stage if I'm not wrong. Super easy, go get your gems. That's always really good. Now there is also this one, which is just going to tell us that Adam Blake and, you know, the Adam Blake's cards and the Awakening card is now being added to the General Scouts. That is absolutely fine, pretty standard stuff. Cool. So the first big news is in fact the Chigiri buffs. Now, both versions of Chigiri have been buffed, and I'm actually really excited by the first one we're going to see. So, Hyoma Chigiri, the fastest kick, has been buffed, and it's been buffed from 45% at max level to 51%. That actually puts it in line with Reo. If you think about it, Reo is 52%, Loki's 52%, and now Chigiri is 51%. That is actually really exciting. It means that we're going to be able to see some really nice Chigiri builds. Also, his stamina has been buffed to 18%, which I think is really good. Bearing in mind he had a 0 buff to stamina prior to this, this is actually just free stats. Like, these are just free stats. We absolutely take that, and bearing in mind whenever you use the speed card, you're getting both stats. It just makes sense. It's a good little power up. So now Ultra Shuttle Run has got its dark green card on Chigiri. Now, for those of you who didn't know, Chigiri was actually bugged prior, and he actually gave the dark green well ahead of time. Now it's just there, it's guaranteed. So yeah, he's got the dark green. We can have a look at it, we can see what it actually looks like if everyone wants. And then lastly, we do have the adjustment here where he used to give event stat bonus, which was a useless stat, and now that's been changed to lecture rate to 40%, and he's been given lecture bonus. This Chigiri is actually amazing, right? 51%, 18%, and as we go down, you've got the lecture rate, you've got the lecture bonus, you've got the intel boost, and you've got the 70% rate up and speed bonus. This is all some really cool stuff. Absolutely love this guy. The fact he's got the trifecta, he's got the speed buff, and now he's got the black-green, which is, you know, just so good. Yeah, overall, this card is phenomenal. I do like it, and I like where they've put it. Now, the other card that did get a buff is the base Chigiri. All that's happened here is they've given it a red Ultra Shuttle Run. We'll have a quick look at it, and other than that, nothing's really changed here. Is this a good card? No, it's not going to go up the tier list, realistically. But, you know, it's still fine. That's still something. So, that's the Chigiri. We've talked about that now. That's done. Let's move on to the next bit. So, naturally, there's some commemoration events. And then, boys, if you had previously leveled up the earlier Gagamaru, the Acrobat Gagamaru, there is an event where you're going to get a bunch of stakes back. So I have Gagamaru at level 100, so I actually just received my 4 stakes, my 21 curries, my 221 gyozas. This is just a free gift for having Gagamaru to max level. We're going to get this next week as well. If you have Rin to max level, you should get this as well, or something similar for when we, you know, get the Rin event. I assume Rin's next week, but we'll have a look at when this event actually ends before I do make that. But anyway, right, I digress. Right, Gin Gagamaru, there is a training event. Of course there's a training event, so if you want the nice shiny Gagamaru banner, so far I've been lucky enough to get them all. If you want it, you're going to have to go and do the training event. Absolutely fine. There is a new challenge rivalry mode, and I love these. So there's going to be a speed limit and an Isagi intel limit. We'll figure that out, and I'll try and make a video on what the values need to be to clear this, and hopefully we'll be able to all clear this pretty quickly. But you know, I always like a little rivalry match challenge thing. We got some new packs, pretty standard stuff. I don't think there's anything special about them. They are what they are, and this is just going to be, hey, we've added, you know, Adam and the support card to the scout banners. Right, we do have a new SSR, and we do have Gagamaru. I'm gonna review them quickly on this chat, and hopefully you guys are gonna, you know, either pull for it or not pull for it. So let's start with the SSR. I think the SSR is a good place to start because we have a brand new technical SSR for Reo. Now, it's a Reo themed SSR. It is what it is. Let's go down. So, I Can't Lose is what it's called, and let's go and have a look. Oh, what's all this red text? I think we're fine. You know what? We won't worry too much about the red text. Let's go look directly at what this SSR is. Firstly, at 5.3, this SSR is going to guarantee an awakening. So just like previous SSRs, where 5.3 guarantees the awakening and 4.2 gives you a chance of awakening, that is something. Now, in addition to that, it does have a second ability where if you use Rio, well, not the movie Rio, but the other two forms of Rio, you will get a 3-turn extension. So, I mean, realistically, I don't think we're going to be training the other two Rios, but assuming we were, you would get a 3-turn extension, which is kind of cool. But again, I think if anything, that probably diminishes this card, because if that was on the movie Rio, this would have been quite decent. Unfortunately, it also doesn't do speed, which, you know, means it's kind of useless on that Rio anyway, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's focus on the card. So we've got technical, we got kick, we got technical boost 30%, which is always nice. 50% lecture rate is actually really nice. Kick power 20%, pretty standard. Now, constant technical boost, I always love that. 10% feels good. Practice match bonus at 80%. I'm not the biggest fan of practice match bonus, but it is just something. And then shot practice extra bonus grade 2. I find it really weird that it is shot practice here, and the only reason I'm not gonna call it out and be like, well, that's a bit of a waste, is because when you do go into the level, you know, 80 plus, you will see special bonus 70 and then the dribbling version of that. The fact that it gives you both extra bonus grade cards is always fantastic. We do like that. That's actually pretty good. Now, training cards, it comes with a black purple kick card. I really am a fan of black purples. I love the extra turn extensions you can create with it. So black purple feels fantastic. I think that's good. And then for those of you who don't know what the red card does, or the white red card I should say, the white reds are 3-stage buff. So where the white gold is a 2-stage buff, so if you were to roll 300, you roll 400, this will give you, instead of a 300, give you a 450. It gives you 3 stages. So 3 extra stages of power up, which is always really, really good. Bearing in mind, he also has it built into his kit as well. You are going to be hitting a lot more 500s or close to 500s thanks to these cards anyway, so this is always welcome. I think this is, you know, solid. Now, it's a really good tech card. I think this is going to be sitting at the top of the tech meta for a bit. Not for a long time, but at least for a bit. I think it's a good card. Is it an S or an OP tier card? I don't think so. I think it's more in the high A's, maybe low S's. It's a good card, but I think, realistically, the Halloween cards are better. I do believe the Halloween cards are better, but listen, at the end of the day, you need to bring 3 support cards. If you're going to be training tech, this could be a card that goes into that. Should you go for it? I'm on the fence. Personally, I'd probably skip it. I'm going to say probably skip it unless you're whaling and buying everything, in which case go crazy. It's a good card, but for the most of us, most free-to-plays or low spenders, this is probably not going to be a must-have. It's something that if you have, great. If you don't, it is what it is. Now, Gin Gagamaru is slightly different though. Gin Gagamaru, this has been a meta card in JP for a while. Like, he is really, really solid. Right, there is actually some subtext that I never read. Notification of the details. May enter Awakening or earn extra turn extensions when the Halloween exclusive cards are included in the training teams. I wasn't aware of that. That's kind of interesting actually. That's something new. So he can go into an Awakening or get some extra turns. That's always cool. But let's have a look at what he looks like. Firstly, his effect, when activated, boosts the shot success rate of a player and reduces the opponent player's shot. Pretty standard skill. It's actually quite a nice skill. Now, introducing the new player strengths. Add Halloween exclusive cards to your formation. With Gagamaru, depending on the Halloween exclusive card added, you will get either turn extensions or an Awakening. So at the start of saying Bluelock, an Awakening will trigger, and for getting a total stat of 1,800 stats. Wow, that's actually pretty big. Or you can get 3 turn extensions. That's with the Bachira Rin. Yeah, so Bachira Rin is going to give you the 3 turn extension. Nagi Reo will give you Awakening. Got it. And Isagi Hero will give you 1,800 character loss. Not so fussed about that one. So, yeah, I think realistically, you want to train him with the Nagi Reo, right? Because, oh wait, no you don't. You want to train him with the Bachira Rin, because that's also the Intel card. It's the Tech Intel card. So I guess you want to train him with that, rather than the Nagi Reo. But yeah, either way, like, I'd probably play for the turn extension. That's actually quite nice. Right, chance to trigger a turn extension event in support events. So, in your support events, you're also going to be able to trigger an extra 2 turn extensions and a maximum 2 chances of activating it. So, that means you can get a total of 4 turn extensions as well. That's actually really, really cool. Like, I think that's really, really cool. The eligible support events do not occur when coaching himself. So, actually, he's a phenomenal support card, isn't he? Because you're going to be able to get additional turns. It's like having Shido again. So, yeah, I'm a fan of this. I'm actually a real fan of this. This is actually a good card. And then Dominance with Revivals. So, again, you've got Bright Red Ultra Shuttle Run, makes it easier for speed and stamina. Yeah, it's just going to talk about the cards. Okay, cool, we don't care about that. Let's actually go and review him. I think it's time to go review this card. So, what do people think? It's going to have a speed bonus of 30%, it's going to have a train rate up of 50%, lecture rate of 40%, and I know it has a lecture bonus as well of 70%, and a training rate up. Wow, okay. Now, it has Intel boost 20%, absolutely valid, and it's got the Ultra Shuttle Run extra grade and the constant speed up. I am a real fan of this card. I think 45% is a little bit low. I think it could have easily been into the 50s, because why not? Everything else is getting into the 50s. But I don't even know if I want to use it in my team. I think this is a support card that is just really, really, really solid to have. Now, in terms of what he actually brings to the party, he does bring a black-blue Intel card. Remember, guys, that is a ×7 boost, if I'm not wrong. It should be ×7 on that, so that's actually really, really solid. Of course, there's a very low chance of spawning, but when it does, that's a ×7 Intel card. And again, you've got the white red, so you've got a big ×5 with 3 stages on that white red. Gagamaru is actually really, really solid. I think, guys, if you're going to be pulling, Gagamaru might be a card that you want to pull, especially if you're trying to round out your speed comps or if you're trying to round out your intel comps. I think he goes into both. I think he's very, very useful in both comps. As long as you have the special rates up to be able to use that intel card, I think he's a really, really, really good card. And the fact that he partners up with the Halloween cards, the fact that he gives extra turns when training, I think he's just a really, really good all-round character. So, boys, as a free-to-play, would you be summoning for him? Sure, get him to 65. If you can get him 65, I think he's really valuable. But as a pay-to-win whale, this is a card that I would max, and I probably will be going for him. But yeah, overall, boys, I think this is a really good card. So maybe avoid the other SR and pick up Gagamaru, and if you can, go and get the Halloween cards, as always. Boys, I'm going to be streaming, as I said. Guys, go smash the like button on this video as well while we're at it, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!